Hey everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live here, episode 37. And we are here and we've had technical difficulties for the last 15 minutes. So, unfortunately, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in production, in television production. Even though this is, we've only been doing Facebook Live now for a month and a half. We still run into problems every once in a while, and today we ran into something new. But Dale will be joining us. Dale from Transform Roanoke and Your Best Today and Click, Create, Connect, and probably a bunch of other things as well will be joining us in just a few minutes. He's actually on the line, but I wanted to make sure, give him some time to get situated there. So a couple things real quick. First, if you want to buy a t-shirt and support us, please do so. We provide a free magazine to the community every month, and our advertisers support us, but at this time we really do need help as we navigate through this pandemic. So head over to King Screen's website, purchase a t-shirt with our name on it, Roanoke Valley Family, Roanoke Valley Kids, and you can help support us as $10 goes right to us for that. So that's awesome. Please check that out. Also on Facebook, we're running a couple things. First, seniors. If your senior is graduating, if your student is graduating this year, please send us their picture, a little bio. We'll try to feature them in an upcoming issue of the magazine. We're going to be running a list of all the graduating seniors here. We were going to do that in May. We actually might do that in June now. But we're going to call out the seniors and put them in the magazine. It's going to be really cool. So just check that out on Facebook. There's a link to that. No charge or anything like that, of course, to any of our readers. This is just a benefit to our audience, so check that out. Also, we have a photo contest, Cabin Fever Candids, that's going on right now as well on Facebook. Not many people have entered, so you got to.
Right?
Well, I haven't looked today, but was only one.
And you.
And me too. So, but I don't count. So, but head over to the Facebook page, enter any photo you want of your kids having fun at home, and you might win 4 tickets to King's Dominion and a $50 Nintendo/PlayStation gift card, your choice for if you win, if you get the most votes. So do that. A couple things, like I said, going on for us. And today we have our guest, Dale Thompson, who we'll be bringing on here momentarily. So thanks for sticking with us through all the craziness that we just experienced, because, like I said, we did have some technical difficulties and didn't really have everything lined up perfectly there. So anyway, let me bring in Dale and talk to him a little bit about what he's got going on and how he's surviving this crazy pandemic. Let me pull him up over here. Our guest, Dale Thompson. And hopefully now who will be bringing technical difficulties will go away and we'll hear him. So, Dale, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Josh.
Awesome. We've got audio. This is amazing. It's technology at its best now. So how you doing, Dale?
Hello. I can. Hopefully you can hear me.
It's overlapping. I hear it in the background.
Yeah,
I heard you speaking in the background.
There's quite a delay. It sounds like, do you have us on Facebook as well? There's a 15-second delay on Facebook.
I do. Should I get off of that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he just commented on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a 15-second delay, so if you listen to Facebook, we won't be able to talk.
Got it. Okay, I just wanted to interact with all my folks that are going to be, typing in and asking questions and all that.
Well, if they haven't fallen asleep with all of our technical difficulties already, then
no, we'll wake them up.
Awesome. Well, everybody, a lot of people watching probably know Dale, but if you don't, Dale Thompson, he's got lots of things going on, and he's here to talk about Your Best Today and Transform Roanoke and what he's got going on and what we'll be doing with him later on in the year, as long as the pandemic kind of helps us out here and goes away. So Tell us a little bit about your organization and what you guys do, and what you guys look to give to the community.
Good. Well, thanks. You know that I love your organization. I think I've been using the term community jewel because it's one of the few places where, you know, we try to tie community together and help the families out. And you're more important now, even though you're not as busy with your events and everything else. You're more important now than you were even before this pandemic started. So,
thank you.
And I guess I'd start just by letting people know how you and I met. You know, I have a little photo booth company called Click Create Connect. And we were at many events since 2014, either together or I was working for you to work on your brand. And that's just it's dead now, of course, because there's nobody who's going to go near a photo booth. But we did a lot of events together, and it's still running, you know. So if anybody needs us, that's Click Create Connect. So just go to our website, clickcreateconnect.com, and you'll see what we have. And it's a multimedia, social media marketing photo booth. So we're able to put people's business names at the bottom of a photo, and then of course those photos are going out on social media and reinforcing the brand for the clients that we're working for. And we work for banks, and we do weddings and other family engagements, but a lot of it is corporate. A lot of it is for the benefit of getting that banner at the bottom of every photo, and then it can go anywhere around. So that's how I met you and your beautiful girls and your wife. And like I said, you guys do a great job. You need to, we need to support Roanoke Valley family, everybody out there, just to make sure that that you keep doing the good work that you've always done.
Thank you. It's as you know, I'm sure with your photo business, I'm sure you know that the business was here, might have been here, and now it's zero, right? Yeah,
big zeros.
Yeah, and that you know, that with us, I mean, you know, we're a free magazine, so we're supported by advertisers, and you know, a lot of our advertisers, and I'm not going to be you know, a jerk, and even if they have a contract, some of these advertisers, I've let them go for the next couple months, because I mean, I can't let King's Dominion pay us money, and they don't have anything to advertise, and so all these businesses for us, you know, aren't going on, and then our events. Our Royal Ball, which is in June, may or may not happen. I don't know. It'll be pushed back, but you know, things like that. All these things that we do, and we've had dollar commitments to things, and we don't have revenue, and it's the same story for a lot of people. But thank you for the kind words, and you know, it's going to be tough to navigate over the next couple of months, but hopefully August, September rolls around, and we're publishing a back to school issue, and everyone's happy and good, and you know, we don't have any worries.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I mean, last year I was trying to figure out, you know, with the photo booth business, what was I going to do with it, and how I was going to try to keep it going through this little period. And we did 7 Easter egg hunts last year. You know, with kids running around, eating their candy out in the sun. You know, grass is growing. I mean, it actually was one of the sad moments that I had, just because I was sitting there going, you know, those kids they missed out. They missed out this year on Easter, going to church with their Sunday best on and all that. So that was a little sad. But one of the things that I'm lucky with is the fact that there's a lot of my business that I can do from home. So I mean, this is my studio, so I can just come up here in my studio, and you know, I can do my videos, and hopefully somebody wants to listen to what we've got to say. You know, so that's the other part of the partnership, which I'm a little sad about. I know we're going to do it, but you and I had talked about these classes for families and for kids, and it started in February. I think we're talking June. So,
yeah. So for those people that are watching from our side of things, and from people that you brought in, Dale, we did a family talk series for the past. Pretty much the past year, or for most of 2019, in which we just use a space with the collab, and we have community talks that range from anything from help save the next girl to to counseling options for people, to we had just a Christmas open house. And Dale was going to do some stuff with us, really starting in the spring, and everything just as we got busy, things kind of fell in the wrong line, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and now we're looking, like you said, in June, July, doing as we can go out and have a group of 10 or more. We'll hopefully intro some of those things, but our family talk series obviously is on hold until whenever we can do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think I can bring to the group is that because of my background, I worked for Allstate Insurance Company for 26 years. I was in human resources and education, and I taught just about everything. And I'm a pretty voracious reader, so if there's a topic that is important to the families in the Roanoke Valley, we'll be able to come up with something for it. So we've got a list of topics, but like I said, I'm trying to be as fluid and as flexible with you, because who knows what people are gonna want to talk about a month from now.
Yeah, well, no, exactly, because things could be a lot different. One of the topics we talked about is things that you might want your kids to learn in school, or you might think they should be learning in schools. Things, and that we don't even have the school system as standard as we did before. So what will that even look like in 3 months or 6 months? I mean, my kids are both virtual school right now, and some kids are virtual schools, some kids aren't. It's really a crazy time that we're in right now.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I mean, topics like those may be still pertinent. You can bring those to the table.
Yeah, and one of the things that we can do, Josh, if this goes on too long, I've got the technology to be able to do online courses. So, I mean, the one that you mentioned, the brainstorming together, it's called Brainstorming Together, things you wish your kids would learn in school, life skills that my children need to know. That's even something that we could do in this kind of format. If we get a couple hundred people that want to jump on I use GoToMeeting or GoToTraining. But I mean, those things, we can do that too. So we've got an outlet for, and I think this is a great idea. You getting on here, once a week. Do you do this more than once a week, or is it just on Tuesday?
Yeah, we do it every day, but we bring in different things. So sometimes we're just doing an activity, a science experiment. Sometimes we where we can actually hook up a video game system and play live video games with different people and stuff. All different things. Sometimes we bring people on to talk. It just depends on the day.
Yeah, see, that's amazing. I mean, that's why I call you a community jewel. I mean, just doing that kind of stuff. And if you ever, like I said, if you ever get a gap or something, I can fill it in. You just give me a topic, and I'll put some, not just talking heads. I mean, we need to entertain here too. One of the cool things I just wanted to share with you is that I started as a teacher. My daughter's a teacher in Goochland County, which is outside of Richmond, and she's a teacher coach. So she's actually going through this whole thing in a public school to keep interacting with each other, which is extremely important, and also with the teachers. So, Christina, if you're out there, shout out to my daughter, Christina, who's pregnant also. She's going to have another grandchild for us in September. But she's going through that. How do we do this, and what are the resources, and how do you keep the kids engaged? What are they going to look like when they come back in the fall? Because we know that they lose, they regress. It's just part of the learning process. So if I can help in any way, I'm ready to jump in. And like I said, give me a topic and how long you want us to go, and we'll create something through the education company.
Absolutely. But tell everybody a little bit more about the education company in terms of, not just through us, and I was doing things maybe with us at events or through Facebook and things like that. But tell everybody a little bit about the company and how they can be learn more about it and do maybe partake in some of the classes that you offer on your own.
Right. Well, it's brand new, and I just taught you something because I touched my face. Did you notice that? All these people out there. So if there are any kids watching, I just scratched my mustache. So now I've got to go and find some. So I didn't bring my hand sanitizer up here, which is in short supply in the Thompson household. But The company is mainly corporate, and we've it's a newly launched company, so the company's only been around for about a year. And frankly, there's a lot of things that need to happen that haven't happened yet. But the company is called Your Best Today, and we're gonna start doing a lot of it online now, of course. And we're gonna do a 2-minute morning kind of inspirational, so that hopefully people will start understanding what we're trying to accomplish. And my background is basically in coaching and individual high performance. So I do things with teams and large groups. If a corporation wants to come and spend and give me huge amounts of money, I'll go in and I'll do whatever they need to do from a consulting perspective. But my real love is coaching and helping small groups and small businesses to optimize what they have. I One of the tenets that I walked with throughout my life is the fact that even when we're at our peak performance, what we think is our peak performance, there's always more that we can do. And that you see this from all of the SEALs that are writing these books, that they're saying, they thought they were that was the end of their life, and then they just kind of kept going, and they were doing all these amazing things. We see this from athletes. We see it from corporate business people who are overcoming, physical disabilities, and we have so much more in us than I think that we even realize. And I'm not perfect. I'm the same way. It's just that I think I have some ideas to be able to share with people, so they can maybe walk out of the room a little bit more comfortable, that they can handle whatever they're being faced with. Even if they don't think they do, they have the power within them to be able to accomplish what they're really shooting for. So a lot of it is individuals, small teams, and small businesses.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, most people, and especially in these times, it's probably very easy for people to give up, to not even give up, but just become okay with the status quo, and become okay with the current reality, as opposed to finding or navigating their way through it. And sometimes it involves tough decisions, and things that you got to work on, or things that you have to cut out of your life in order to navigate something like this.
Right.
But right. I mean, some people they don't. There's always more that you can do. There's always more that you can give. I've used this quote a couple times on other podcasts that we've done, but I'm a huge baseball fan, and Derek Jeter has a quote that I always reference, is that people on the field may be more talented than he was, but he said there was never any excuse for anybody to try harder or give more than what he did on the field, because he could always give more. He could always do more. There's no excuse for not doing that.
Yep. Unfortunately, one of my baseball heroes when I was growing up is Pete Rose. And if anybody's old enough like me to know Pete Rose, that's probably not the idol that you want when little kids are growing up. But the reason I love Pete Rose, and if you haven't heard of the name, just go look at the guy. The guy would take a walk on a baseball field, and he would run to first base just in case a ball was thrown past the pitcher, or the catcher dropped it. He was off to second base. And he did that. I bet I saw him do that 6 or 8 times on a walk. He's standing on second base. And plus the fact that he was not the most talented player. He wasn't fast. He wasn't quick. He had really good eye, and he ended up with more hits than anybody in the National Baseball League. Still isn't in the Hall of Fame, though, of course, because he decided that he was going to bet on his own sport. But I love the quote Jeter, and those are the people that you need to sit there and go, how did they do that? Or people who deal with disabilities, and they're joyful about life, and and people say, well, that's the way they've always been. They were born without an arm or something, so they don't know any different. But they see all the other people with 2 arms, and they're still joyful about life, and they're still trying, and they're still trying to reach their full potential. And that excites me. That really gets me up in the morning and wants me to help as many people as I possibly can.
That's awesome, and that's the kind of what we want to bring into our Family Talk series, with some of the topics as we as we head into the summer. Once we get past all this, and we mentioned some about the school, about what the different life skills that you may be able to help educate some kids on, and help educate parents on how to educate their kids.
Right.
Things along that line. But there's so much more. Like you said, there's a lot of other topics that you can cover. Whether it be education or family structure or disciplining kids and those types of things. Mm-hmm. Those are the types of topics that we want to bring, and you want to bring to the table. Come the summer when we can all get out of our houses.
Right. Well, and I tell everybody, nobody told us to stay in the house. They told us that we can't gather with each other and breathe on each other. That's what they told us. And I've got a lot of elderly friends. I'm 63. What am I? 63. I'm 63. So I mean, I've got a lot of retirees from Allstate that still call me up, and the only thing I tell them is, go outside, stick your face up to the sun. Just go outside, get some sun, sit in the grass, take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass. We need to make sure that this is physical distancing, but the social distancing word makes me a little uncomfortable. And the reason is that think how difficult this is for some people, even the people who still have jobs that are working from home. Okay, now the kids are there. And then they still got to do their job. They still have the expectation of the job. But now the kids are expecting them to help with the education. And there was a great TV show on this afternoon, and that their parent after parent after parent said, I don't know half this stuff. I've got a 6-year-old daughter, and they're doing math like I've never seen. And I wasn't helping her with homework before when she was going to school. So how do you expect me to teach her now? And at the same time, they have to deal with this, everybody in the same house, and the house might be not big enough for everybody. Go outside, stick your face in the sun, do the homework on the porch or something, because the house can get pretty confining during these times.
Absolutely, we're lucky. We have a nice front porch, but a little bit too windy today to do anything on the front porch. It was throwing our rocking chairs all over the place. Yeah. Unfortunately, and we live in the Grandin area, so they took the Greenway away because it was getting so crowded. It wasn't actually. You couldn't actually. You were right next to people. It was getting very, very tough to navigate on the Greenway.
Yeah. So they closed the city part, right? The part within Roanoke City.
Yeah. I don't know if the county, or I don't know, if anybody else closed their parts, but the city closed theirs. Unfortunately. Yeah. But we were remarking when we were riding our bikes on it that how the last couple of days it was so difficult to actually ride, because it was you were not bumping into people, but you couldn't stay at any distance away from it.
Right.
Traffic.
Yeah. Well, and this stuff seems to be working. Like I said, I love this technology. I know that we had some problems at the beginning. I still don't know what happened. You logged out, I logged out, and now we're fine. Yep. So, it's a learning process, but we're one of the things that I think we need to concentrate on is, and I don't like talking about the problem forever. It seems like a lot of times we spend so much time just trying to figure out what is the problem and then hashing it over and over and over again. I would much rather jump to the solution. And one of the things we need to start looking at is, the next time this happens, we're going to have all this knowledge. Think about the way we've mobilized all these industries and everything. So we have to start thinking about the solutions and how the world will be different. And I hope to hell I get to hug people again, because I'm not going to do I'll do the mask as long as we need it to be done, but I'm not going to be talking to Josh Egan and his daughters with a mask on. And I'm not going to be trying to figure out what's 2 meters. And the other thing other thing I'm telling people is it's not 6 feet, it's 2 meters. We screwed it up in the 80s when we didn't go with the metric system. Let's go now. It's 2 meters. Figure out what a meter is.
Well, we can start now, right? Exactly. We should fix all the things that are broken. The imperial system. We should be using the the metric system so that everything is that's a 10.
Yeah, exactly. Make Josh and Dale the president and the vice president of the world, and we'll fix this place pretty quickly.
I mean, there's a couple basic things. I mean, like you said, I mean, you can use this time to better systems, better yourself, better whatever community. There's opportunities to do that right now, and we shouldn't just go back to what our normal was. We should go back to and try to be what our ideal situations were.
Right.
And obviously not everyone's in a position necessarily to get there easily, but I mean, if you're going to break it down, we're talking about redoing our kitchen. If we're going to rip apart a kitchen in a house that's from the 1920s, you might as well gut it and go to the very, very the studs and start fresh.
Exactly. And look at the opportunities we have now. I take care of my mother-in-law and is in my house. She's been with us for 4 years. Oh, I touched my face again. People, remember, don't touch your face. If you got an itch, just don't itch it. Just leave your hands on your lap or whatever. But I've got a 94-year-old mother-in-law in my house. My daughter and my Serbian daughter are both pregnant. So my daughter's pregnant. She's going to have her baby in September. My Serbian daughter is going to have hers in October. They don't want to see me. They don't want to be anywhere near me. I frankly don't want to get anything that I'm going to bring back into the house. But we still have this opportunity to build a relationship. Okay, we're building the relationship, hopefully, with a lot of people that are watching us just gab here. We have this opportunity. Is it tougher? Yeah, it is, because we're all together. But think about the amount of time that you have with your girls and your wife now. You're together probably all the time, and that can be really, really good if you work at it. Or for some people, I'm sure it's going to be really, not real comfortable.
Yeah, well, we've been trying to, for us, I mean, we've been eating a lot more meals together because our schedules are obviously now forced to align.
Right.
We're not running around as much. There's not soccer practice or piano lessons in person or guitar lessons. Right. It's virtual. So there's a lot of little things like that. So there's opportunities for us to kind of be more, of a family unit. I'm writing the second and third book. So at this time, I have some more free time as well. So like I've got not more. Yeah. I shouldn't say more free time. I just can't really go anywhere. So
right.
I'm stuck in front of my desk more often.
Now, is this with your daughter? This is another kid's book?
Yeah. Good. So we have a second kid's book in the same series. Coming. Perfect. And then we have another one that is a separate series completely. That is a little bit different. We'll see how it works out. I was just working on it today. Actually, I spent about 2-3 hours typing up a bunch of stuff. So
good.
We'll see how it goes. Like you said, use the time to better yourself and do projects and things that can help, as opposed to just moving around and being sulking.
Yep. Well, and one of the other things that I just wanted to mention was my nonprofit work, because one of the reasons, when I was contemplating leaving Allstate, probably about 5 years before that, I knew that I had acquired a lot of skills and talents, and I knew I was going to work. I'm going to work until the day I die. I'm not going to just sit in the chair and then decide I'm going to go play golf, although playing golf every day does sound nice. That's just not enough to fill my life. But one of the things I knew I was going to do is try to make money with Your Best Today, which is the education company. Sure. And right now, 25%, and it'll probably end up being most of it, because I don't need as much money as I hope to make with the education company. But 25% of it goes to Transform Roanoke, and Transform Roanoke is out there, and we've already got six clients, 2 that are in jail. Are going to be, one of them's going to be coming out probably in the fall, that we'll probably be working with again. We're working with the Wildlife Warriors.
Yes.
Because we're helping them with some problems that they're having. So I'm involved in that. But ultimately, all my education stuff is basically to fund my calling, which is, there's a lot of people that are hurting right now. Okay, and there's some that are
Yeah.
lucky enough to still have their jobs, or going to be able to go back to their jobs, and they're getting unemployment at probably a greater rate than they did before. So there's some people that are going to be okay from this, but there's a lot of people who were struggling before this pandemic, and now they're even in worse shape. So
Absolutely.
one of the things I'd like everybody to think about is that if it's not donating to Transform Roanoke, send me all your money. I'll take every dime of it, because I've got enough people who are really hurting. But all you have to do is turn on the news and hear about the food shelters that are running out of food, because there's people that have never gone to a food shelter that are now going, to Feeding Southwest Virginia or Ram House or some of the other ones. So we do have to think about them, and pick our heads up every now and then and say, it's not all about me. I've got to see whether there's resources or talents or time that I have that I can give to people who are really hurting, that are going to struggle when they come out of this, because they might not even have a job now. So, and there's a lot of my son's in the restaurant business, and there's a lot of restaurant businesses that are going to close. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we have to
That's
we have we have to understand that too.
Yeah, that's something that yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
See that? Yeah.
You hit the right spot there.
Yeah,
After you have
even old people can learn that now. It's not this, it's this. All right.
There's a lot of, like you said, though, there's a lot of people that are struggling. There's a lot of people that need the help, and it's almost sometimes is overwhelming in terms of who to help, or who to give money to, or what organization can do that. So I know you're helping trying to help a lot of people, and I think whatever we all can help in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not monetarily. Whatever, maybe just checking on someone, and maybe if you have an elderly neighbor, making sure that they have what they need before you when you go out to the store, so that they don't have to run the risk of exposing themselves. So little things can go a long way.
Right, and it's really, really simple. And if there are kids watching today, it's real simple. Take care of yourself, okay? Because if you're not there to take care of other people, then it doesn't work. That's why when you're on an airplane, they say when the oxygen comes down, put it on yourself before helping somebody else. So make sure you're ready to help other people, and then look at your family. If there's somebody in your immediate family or in your extended family, help them first, okay? Because that's the way it works. We're family beings, so help your family. And then if everybody's okay, look out in your neighborhood. Look to the people that you know. Look to the people who you knew were struggling before this, and like Josh says, give them a call. Walk down there, knock on their door, step back 2 meters, and just say, "I'm just checking to make sure you're okay. You all right? You got enough
meter.
Yes, 2 meters. You got enough toilet paper?" That's the first thing that I'd ask, because then they'll laugh, and then you'll say, "Are you okay? I'm just checking." And here's I'll put my number on your doorstep, and then you walk away. They have your number, and maybe you saved a life. Because, like I said, there's plenty of people, just even in our own neighborhoods, that we don't know how badly they are hurting. So
absolutely, and it's going to be they'll still, even when this is over, they'll still be hurting, because they'll be getting some of those people will be able to get their feet on the ground in some cases, and they won't be able to do a couple things that they might normally do, or their kids might not be able to, or they it's gonna change the way we do things for a long period of time going forward, unfortunately.
Well, and it's an opportunity to help. Okay, it's going to be. I mean, we can either say, this is terrible and it's going to be tragic, or you can say it just gives me more opportunity to help people. And you do have to pick and choose. You have to decide, where I'm going to put my time, talent, and treasure, because we only have limited amounts. So, but I would encourage everybody to look at. And then, like I said, just try to have as much fun with your family as you possibly can. Go outside, get the sun on your face, stick your feet in the grass, take your shoes off, wiggle your toes in the grass. My grass is growing so damn fast. Oh, can you say damn? It's so fast. so fast right now. I'm cutting it about every 3 hours. A friend.
That's a good problem. My yard's mostly weeds,
Oh,
so
well, the weeds are growing just as fast as
that's
the
true.
grass, so it
That's
really does.
true.
And the weeds are higher, so that's cooler. So because then you can cut them down, and you actually think you accomplished something. So
Well, our I've sprayed. We redid our patio and put a fire pit, and
oh
man,
wow, nice.
we've done the fire pit a couple times, and then but the weeds, like you said, I mean, I can't. I put so much different. I put vinegar on them. I put organic weed killer on. I can't get them to stop growing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you gotta plant grass. I mean that's in the fall you need to
Yeah.
aerate and then drop a whole bunch of seed because you'll never get rid of the weeds as long as you don't have any grass. I know that because I have a couple spots in my lawn that are just they're just worthless because I can't get enough water on them, and I'm not going to spend water on grass. If it looks like somebody's actually living there and the house is still occupied, that's about as good as I care my yard to look like. So, and my wonderful wife does all the flowers and everything, so the flower beds look beautiful, and the grass is good enough for people to look by and say, oh, somebody must still be living in that house.
There you go. There's your landscaping goals right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. And keep the dandelions in my neighbor's lawn. So
Yeah, there you go.
spray a little bit of his lawn so that the dandelions don't infect mine. So
I'll have to send my daughter over. She's been going out and taking the dandelions and picking them, and then I guess separating them into stems and petals and drying them to use them for tea. So
oh,
there's a market for dandelions. I don't know.
I didn't know that. When I was growing up, my wife's Italian and hung around a lot of Italians. They used to make dandelion wine. I didn't like it, but they all
Huh.
drank it. Yep, and they just took the stems, squished them, got the juice out of them, and then let it ferment. And really, really bitter, but they always had dandelion wine around. So maybe she's got a
Interesting.
maybe she's got a little business going there.
She might have. Might be something that comes out of it. It'll be a new tea company on the shelf
Yeah,
in a couple of years.
yeah, exactly.
Well, before we let you go, we'll make sure we get all your information out there. So we'll type
I,
in the different websites that we can
Thank you.
go to. So Transform Roanoke. So is it Transform Roanoke
Org. .org.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Transform.
nonprofit. It's 501c3.
Okay.
And like I said,
And
that's the one that's taking the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is basically so I can make enough money, so as much money as I can move into the Transform Roanoke, it can help as many people as I possibly can. And my attitude, just one more thing about my attitude about that is, I try to help people that are struggling with short-term issues. So if I can,
okay.
because of my coaching ability, if I can say, okay, here's what you need to do for the next 2 months or 6 months or a year, and then you're going to be off on your own. Maybe you need
Mhm.
to pay off some debt, or you need to go to school because you really want to go and program or something like that. I help people through those periods of time, but we have to agree upon an end product, because my real joy and what I'm trying to get people to understand is that they can get what they want. They just have to be reasonable, and then they're going to have to work really, really hard, and they're going to have some support. And I'm essentially the support, or the people that volunteer with me are the support, but we got to get that person to a much better place in life in the future in a fairly short period of time. Okay, so I mean, something as simple. We
Yeah.
had a elderly couple that had enough money to live to survive, but their son had to come live with them and brought some grandkids. Ate all the food in the house, everything else. She calls me up one day on a program I use called Nextdoor, and it's a neighborhood program, and she says, I can't pay my power, and they shut my power off, and it was a cold night that night. So we paid for the power to go back on, and then they were off on their way because all they had was this one little blimp, and they only needed $300. So we did. So it's short term kind of stuff. And then go ahead.
Those short term can spiral for people, so that by allowing that, by helping with that one, that prevents the second step or the third step that could be the fall.
Right. Yeah. And it's surprising how little time and how little money most people need. Then what I tell people is it's not the time, it's not the money, it's the person-to-person contact. Because you can write all the checks you want, but there's always somebody who's interfacing with that person to help them over that barrier, whatever that person what happens to be, and that's what we're there for. And then Your Best Today, which hopefully I'll be able to provide whatever you guys are looking for to kind of give whatever educational content. And the reason that I'm pretty confident that we can do any topic is that I know where the best content is. It's not all in Dale Thompson's head. There's a lot of really smart people that know about stuff, and I've read enough about it where I know that this person knows something better than this person, and that's the content we're going to use to teach kids or adults teaching kids. So there's a lot of opportunities for the education partnership.
You're going to find that content and find the right information to help. And that's sometimes that's what the best leaders, organizational leaders, they find that right information and they disseminate it and they put it in a way that we can understand, and that means something to somebody.
And show you where the sources are. If anybody out there is working with a consultant that is the smartest person in the room all the time, you need to run away from that person because they're never the smartest person. You'll have a nice binder at the end of it sitting on the shelf that nobody will ever use, but you're not getting the best content because most of the time it takes a lot of brains in a room to come up with the best stuff. And that's all I steal from everybody because it's not in Dale's head. It's in some, it's in one of my it's in one of my Harvard classics or something. Aristotle said it before I did, or all these other really smart people. I just steal from them, and then I always tell them it's not mine. Here's where it came from because they deserve some kind of credit for it. So. But that's essentially what I do. And then the photo booth business, like I said, if you need a photo booth, call my Serbian son, Stefan. My number's on the card, but Stefan runs the thing. And Josh, Stefan, so we'll do as many photo booths as we can. And the main reason is because he makes money off of it, and I take that money and I put it towards Transform Roanoke and, do. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shovel as much money as I can through the businesses so that I can go and help some folks, that are not quite as blessed as me and my family happen to be. So.
Well, that's phenomenal, and I will definitely vouch for every event that we've done where we have a photo booth. Dale and Stefan have been there doing the photo booth for us. So if you've been to a Royal Ball, if you've been to a Mother's Sundance, if you've been to a Beers or a Expo or any of the dozens of events that we've thrown over, Dale's the one that's there, and his booth is there. So he's got that, and of course Your Best Today and Transform Roanoke. So he's helping out a lot of people and doing a lot of really awesome things. So before we go, we're giving away just a DoorDash gift card so that people can enjoy a little, maybe takeout or delivery, I guess, from DoorDash from one of the local restaurants. So if you guys who are watching want to have a chance to win, I'm going to ask you to do one thing. One thing. Let's head over to the Transform Roanoke page on Facebook. So you're going to head over to Transform Roanoke and just make sure you like that page. If you like the Transform Roanoke page, and comment in the comments below with a picture, with a screenshot or a picture, or I'll take your word for it if you say you did it. We'll look and see how many likes Transform Roanoke has gone up. But just comment below with a picture, or say you went over and liked their page, so you can learn a little bit more about what Transform Roanoke is trying to do and who they're trying to help in this time. And then we'll pick a winner here probably I'll say by the end of the week, because some people will watch this video afterwards. So everybody, Yeah, comment
Right.
below with a picture, or some kind of proof, or just we'll take their word for it if they just want to say I liked it. But that way, and then one winner will win a $15 gift card to for DoorDash, so they can maybe have a night off and order from a local restaurant like Farm Burgesa or something like that. Support local as opposed to any of the chains that are still open.
Yep.
So we'll be doing that for everybody. Anything else you want to say, Dale, before we go? I should say before Dale talks, we're going to have Dale on at some point. We're going to have these events. We're going to pick up Family Talk again, and we're going to have Dale talk about things, like continuous learning and the skill sets that kids need, and the different discipline options for parents and family structure. We're going to have that at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, everybody, but at some point it will happen. And Dale will be there and we'll be sharing a lot of his insights. So, we appreciate that. And any topics that you want him to cover or you want us to introduce, just send us an email. We'll definitely look into trying to get that information out there. So with that being said, Dale, is there anything else that you want to add or anything before we let you go?
No, I just want to say thank you, and you're a community jewel. Like I said, there's 6 or 8 groups out there that I use that term for. I don't use it lightly. You're amazing. Just keep going. We'll get through this together, and I hope the community really appreciates what you bring to the Valley. Because, like I said, you and your girls are just, you're adding an awful lot, and I just hope that every time I see one of your boxes, I hope all the magazines are gone, and hopefully in June, I don't know if May, hopefully you've got some out there in May, but we'll get back to this, and then we'll show people how great you can shine as Roanoke Valley family.
I hope so. And none of our boxes have any magazines. If not, they're all at Food Line. But we did mail them. We mailed out a couple hundred copies to families. So we did that. But I don't know what we're doing in May yet, because I'm still sitting here just twiddling my thumbs, trying to figure out what's the right thing. And I just don't know yet what we're going to do. So we'll figure it out. We'll get through it. And you know what? Maybe it'll make us better and stronger come July and June or whenever we can get back to normal.
Yep. Stay on the positive side and stick your face up to the sun.
There you go. Those are good last words. Dale, we appreciate you stopping by. We put all of the links in the comments. And guys, if you want to have a chance to win that $15 gift card, just tell us that you like Transform Roanoke Facebook page. Show some kind of proof. And, we'll pick a winner at the end of the week to win that $15 gift card. So, Dale, thank you so much. Stay safe and wash your hands and get some sanitizer, because you touched your face a couple times. I did it well.
Make today a masterpiece, guys.
Thank you. Take care, Dale.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Click, Create, Connect. Dale has a lot to offer everybody, and we hope that you check out his Facebook pages, his web page. He'll be doing some speaking engagements with us later in the year once we get up to speed and back to normal. So thanks so much to Dale for.
His daughter was watching.
Oh, there you go. Say Dale's daughter might want to win the gift card. Dale's daughter, go like your dad's page, so you might have a chance to win the $15 gift card. But anyway, thanks again to Dale. Check out his web pages and his Facebook page for more information about what he does and how to get some coaching opportunities, or find out how you might be able to help Transform Roanoke, help people in need in our region. So we all could use a little help, and Dale's trying to make that possible for a lot of people. So we'll be back again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we have Gabrielle Villarreal from Roanoke ADHD joining us to talk about kids' anxiety during the pandemic, and how families and kids can deal, and different mechanisms that might be helpful to them during this to get over that anxiety. So he'll be joining us tomorrow. Then Mary Kerr from Aquatic Adventures will be joining us on Thursday to talk about some swim safety once we get back into the pool, or if you have a pool in the backyard. And then on Friday we'll be talking to Chris Hale from Hale's Music out in Salem, and he'll be talking about music lessons during this time and how people can still stay engaged with music. And of course on Saturday we'll be doing our video game tournament with Mario Kart. And potentially Emma will be back. We're not sure. We'll figure that out later.
I may be able to get our cousins.
We may have more. We may have cousins playing. We may have a whole bunch of people playing on Saturday. It's going to be cool. So check it out. But we got a full week of activities. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate Dale for stopping by. And enter. Make sure you like his page, Transform Roanoke, on Facebook. And tell us you did. And at the end of the week, we'll pick a winner. Thanks so much, guys. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Secret handshake. We can do a handshake because we live in.
I'm gonna somehow find a way to cut away.
We live in the same
every
house.
time you do that.
Oh well. Take care, guys.